from the previous Soviet practice of developing relatively simple, inexpensive but specialized platforms. In fact, the Armata comes in many versions as was envisioned for the U.S. Army's now defunct Future Combat System program. Instead of a relatively simple design, the T-14 is fitted with a number of very advanced features that have never been implemented in an operational tank anywhere else in the world. Moreover, for the first time, the Russian military seems to have placed a premium on crew survivability. That could be a result of Russia's push to professionalize its military and possibly due to the country's declining demographics. What immediately sets the Armata apart from any other operational tank is that it has an unmanned turret. The advantage is that the crew compartment is physically separated from the ammunition. Further, the tank is equipped with passive laminated armor combined with reactive armor and an active protection system. The Afghanet active protection system allegedly includes millimeter-wave radars to detect, track and intercept incoming rounds. Taken in aggregate, the Armata offers much better crew survivability than any previous Russian or Soviet tank, assuming all of these features work. While the unmanned turret offers much better crew survivability, it also has some drawbacks. The crew has to entirely rely on their sensors for situational awareness and targeting. That's not a huge drawback normally, but it could be a problem if the tank is hit and its sensors or electronics are knocked out. That might mean even a glancing blow to the turret results in a mission kill where the tank is drivable, but unable to shoot back. Versus the M-1A2 SEP V2 or the follow-on M-1A3, it's an open question as to which is the better tank. The Abrams is a proven, reliable design that is still being upgraded. The forthcoming M-1A3 will be somewhat lighter and more mobile. The U.S. Army also plans to replace the 120mm M256 smoothbore gun with a lighter version. New guided projectiles might also enable the Abrams to hit targets as far away as 12,000 meters. But Russian tanks are also equipped to fire anti-tank guided missiles via their main gun. It's really a question of who sees the other first. The tank that sees the enemy first almost always wins the fight. The Armata is a new design, and it will inevitably have teething problems as it matures. Further, there is the question of whether the T-14 can be produced in numbers. That's very much a factor, given the state of Russia's economy. Ultimately, it could prove to be a formidable weapon. Time to consider matchmaking Russia's favorite new Armata tank with America's ex-favorite anti-tank missile, the TOW. The TOW-2A still uses the weapon's signature wire guidance system. When a TOW missile shoots out from the launch tube using a booster rocket, a wire connecting the missile to the launcher unspools behind it, allowing the launch unit to send commands up the wire while the missile soars ahead. The TOW uses a semi-automatic command line of sight, SACLOS, system, which is to say, the firer guides the missile by keeping an optical scope trained on the target, and the system automatically corrects the missile's course in flight. The TOW-2A can hit targets up to 3,750 meters away, though it will take its time getting there. Flying at an average of 180 meters a second, that adds up to 21 seconds to hit a target at maximum range, giving an alert tank crew a chance to take evasive action. If they notice it coming. The wire guidance system has the advantage of being immune to most forms of jamming. However, it requires the firer to remain in place, aiming the missile for its entire flight time until it hits the target. Countermeasures that make the target hard to see, such as plain old-fashioned smoke, can mess up the firer's aim. Once it hits the tank, the TOW-2A detonates a high-explosive anti-tank, heat, warhead, also known as a shape charge or chemical penetrator. Starting in the 1980s, however, designers started making tanks that were especially resistant to heat warheads. Western tanks employed Chobham composite armor. Soviet anti-tank missiles had as much effect on new Abrams and Challenger tanks in the Gulf War as spitballs on a hippo. Russian designs, on the other hand, employed explosive reactive armor, ARA, bricks of explosives that detonate at a missile's approach, tripping the heat warhead's jet before it gets close enough to the tank. The T-14 looks like it has far superior defensive features compared to its predecessors. First of all, there is the Afghanet active protection system, which boasts both hard and soft kill capabilities, set in motion by 4 or 5 advanced mm